Welcome to Thank God You're Not My Child. Remember, it's a comedy podcast where I talk about whatever I want to. I do need to mention today that I did have to hit Wikipedia for some information. I normally like to just tell my opinions, but this one I needed to go back and I needed to see when some things started and all, And so this week we're going to talk about unschooling. I was going to talk about homeschooling and unschooling, which I might still, but this unschooling thing at first really confused me. I'm a firm believer that everybody needs school, okay? And I could not imagine when I started researching this, not having your kid in school, And so I underschooled homeschooling, but unschooling. Okay, what I saw the most when I was researching unschooling, watching videos and searching families that are doing this and how they do this and all of that kind of stuff. What I found the biggest on unschooling was a lot of them have no bedtimes. They can learn whatever they want. They can do whatever they want. And that's normally what I was finding, And I'm like, that surface research, that's what I found. That's what I fucking found. And I'm like, that is not, that's not schooling at all. That is just giving your child free choice on what they're wanting to do all day. Are they going to learn? Absolutely, they're going to learn something. They're going to learn maybe they can learn fire ants hurt their feet when they step in the fire ants. That's things that kids learn from experience, because sometimes they don't listen to you. You understand what I mean? So, yeah. So I think the biggest thing I have with unschooling is I'm not finding a lot of parents that think it's important for unschooling for their kids to still be able to read and to write and to understand that stuff. I have also found a few people that are grown that were unschooled, and one girl was telling it was TikTok, and she didn't know how to read in middle school and got made fun of. In middle school, she was unschooled. And that is still stuff that you need to learn. You don't just be in this world and think, I don't need to reading. If your child doesn't know how to read, and let's just go simple. Double digits, like 1, 0, 10, and they can't read, you fucked up as a parent. Just saying it. Yeah, you see? You fucked up as a parent. So, unschooling isn't the problem. It's what you're letting your child learn. Let them go. Oh, they like music. Let them. I saw one that the girl was learning how to make YouTube videos, the editing and stuff. And this is very nice to know. But is that the only thing she should learn? No. Maybe knowing now we're having so many people that doesn't understand how our government works. Maybe teaching them how the government works, because you can do that at home. So unschooling, it could work. But is it going to work? Is it going to work with you letting your kid jump on a trampoline at 2 a.m.? Is it going to work for you letting your child eat chips all day and juice that's like 5% juice, so Kool-Aid? Because that's going to keep them healthy for the rest of the week. There's ways to teach your kid, and there's ways not to teach your kid. And never having your child learn how to read, or maybe being able to fill out an application if they ever need a job, because sometimes people want you to take a pencil and write down your name, like, oh, my name's Donna. Donna. I know that. I can write my name. And I seen some videos of some 13 and 14-year-olds that couldn't even write their name in the dirt with a stick. Yeah, you're fucking up. You're fucking up. You're fucking up. When you unschool your child, this is a human being that's going to have to live in this world, possibly without you one day. Do you understand this? Possibly without you one day. They're going to grow up. They're going to be 21 years old, and they are not going to know how to do shit because you never let them learn how to read or to write. You know? You're going to have to know math when you go to the grocery store. Simple stuff, just simple. So if you want to teach a homeschool and teach your kid 2 + 2 is 4, 100 + 100 is 100, that's fine. If that's where you want them to stop on their education, that's fine. But you know what's not fine? Expecting the world to take care of your child that's 21 and doesn't know how to do shit. And that is where some of the unschooling comes in. I have witnessed that from where I was from. There was a little church school, and I didn't agree with everything they did, but, I had a lot of friends that sent their kids there, and, okay, to each his own. But what I did notice was the adults that I knew graduated from that school were ignorant. I'm just saying. One of my friends, and I just kept it to myself because, you don't say anything, but she didn't even know how to count money at the local grocery store. She didn't even, 28 years old, and went to that school and graduated. Now, maybe it's just her. Maybe it was just her. But there was quite a few that didn't understand. They graduated ignorant people. They just did. And odds are, you know a school that did that too. When I was in high school, I lived in East Texas, and I went to Longview High School, and I was pregnant in high school. I've mentioned that before. I had an English teacher that was pregnant also, and instead of learning English, she was literally kind of hungry sometimes because she was pregnant, I was pregnant, and she would send me, instead of me in class, down to the lunchroom to get us something to eat. And since I was pregnant and wanted it, I wasn't going to say no, but you know what? I missed a whole lot of English because it wasn't that important. And guess what? I still passed. I still graduated. And guess what? I still struggle at 55 fucking years old with, when do I use to or TOO? When do I do that? Those simple things that, there. You know what I mean? Your. That I still have to, at 55, research. I shouldn't have to do that. And do you think unschooling moms are going to teach their kids the difference if they're not even teaching them to fucking read? Okay, so let's just branch back. Okay, let's just go back. I know unschooling started with a man named John Holt, like late 1960s, 1970. And you know what? Seriously, I'm okay with unschooling as long as you're teaching your kids everything they need to know. Yes, they can pick what they want to learn, but there's things you need to know. Math, reading, and arithmetic. You don't have to go to calculus. You don't have to go to algebra, but you got to know some beginning things. So I understand where unschooling came from. I do. And I also went back to check when what was schooling started for. And I do know that I live in Oklahoma now, and there are farmers. And I do know that school in summer was let out because the kids went home to work on their farms. Yep. And that was why there was breaks during school year. It had nothing to do with, go spend some more time with your family. It had nothing to do with that. We have crops, and we have 8 kids, and we need them home because we're going to have to work so we can eat the rest of the year. Then they can come back to school when the crops are done. That was the system that in this area where school was done. So there were certain times you went to school, certain times you don't. We still have summers. And there's not a lot of kids that I know that take off to the summer and work with their families, you know? So there's that. So that could definitely stop. But you know, when you get into school and you have 8 to 10 things to learn, that's why the kids are getting stretched so thin. So if school's not working and you want to unschool, then you still got to make sure your kids learn. And what are you going to do? So that's the whole question. What are you going to do? Well, I'm going to tell you what you're going to do. You're going to get your head out of your ass and you're going to make sure your kids learn what they need to learn to live in this world, because this world's pretty fucked up. And if you don't think it's really fucked up, maybe you're the problem. But yeah. So if you want to unschool your kids, let's do it. I think, and now I did pull my son out. I don't know if I think I've mentioned this. I did pull my son out, and he did homeschooling for his junior and senior year. No. His sophomore and junior year. And his grade level went up. But we did a Becca, and man, that was some of the hardest fucking time I ever had. Not only was I running the daycare with 10 kids and 10 to 13 kids for a couple hours after school, I was also having to make sure he homeschooled. Now, I didn't teach him. There were videos. But if he didn't do his homework and understand how he was doing things, we may have to rewatch the video. We might have to do something else. We may have to approach it a different way. And so therefore that did take time with me. It was hell 2 years, but it was worth it because he was having issues of learning. He cared more about his socials and what he was doing than anything. So yes, it was something we did. But he also had teachers. It was DVDs. I could not have unschooled him. Now, if we rewind, and when my kids were littler, I 100% would have homeschooled them. I think I would have. Now, I wouldn't have been smart enough to go too far, so they would have had to go to school. But unschooling and homeschooling, I think if I had known more about it, I might have. At least, for a few years to keep them around, because I liked my kids around. That was why I started daycare, so I could have kids. Yeah, I know. Just weird. So I think I might have unschooled my kids. Because we had some good times. We had some good times before they started school. Playing in the rain. Yeah, cooking together. I mean, we just had some good times. So I think I would have. At least maybe to first grade, second grade. Now, let's clarify that the English I'm not real sure about. My math skills, divisions probably, fractions hurt my brain a little. Still things I'm having to learn. So I wouldn't have taught them too far. Now, their daddy could have gone farther because he's a little more brain smart than I am. We're just going to leave that there. So yesterday, I was in a fast food restaurant, and I seen 2 different gentlemen come in for an interview. It was very interesting to see this because in high school, I actually had a class that taught us to do interviews. It makes me wonder, do they have that class anymore? Well, if they do, one of these listened and one did not. One came in, you could tell he was both of these kids, what was really different about this is they were both all black clothes, all black hair. The first one that came in that I noticed was interviewing. Everything was clean, very clean cut. Everything was in shape. I could even hear, I knew they were interviewing, but I even heard him say, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Okay. And I went, oh, he's interviewing as I'm eating my French fries, Cool. I haven't seen that in a long time. Then about 15 minutes later, right before we left, another kid came in. Dressed in black, just like the other kid. I mean, it was a fast food restaurant. I do understand that's like 16, 17-year-olds. I'm still in school. Let me work. This kid His hair was not clean. He could be homeless. I don't know. But she sat down for about 2 seconds with him, and she asked him if he'd filled out the application. And you know what? I'm not sure he could have. I don't know. So could he have worked there? Possibly. Yeah. But I can tell you right now, he did not get a full interview. I've seen 2 interviews. That second one did not get a full interview. That second one, I'm not sure, could have filled out the application. So, what does that say? I know we have the internet, and that is your biggest place to fill out applications. And do they know how to do a resume? And are they going to want a job that's going to want that? I understand all of this. I get it. But instead of thinking of, oh my God, I love my kids, I don't want my kids to go to school. Oh my God, I'm going to strip my clothes off and my kids go to school. All of that bullshit that young moms do. Been there, done that. Remember, if you remember, go back and listen to the episode about when my son started kindergarten. The principal had to come out and tell me to take my daughter home, that I can't stay there all day. So I understand. I didn't want them to go. I wanted them to stay with me. But you know what? I didn't. And you know what? Sometimes your kids they do need to learn more. Maybe you're not a good teacher for your kids. I know my son and I did this when we were homeschooling. Thank God I didn't have to teach him, the actual teaching. Sweet Jesus, I couldn't imagine if I'd had to do that. So yeah, and I saw this one video of a young mom saying, "Oh, we're homeschooling or unschooling, not homeschooling. Huge difference. We're unschooling our kids. Today we're learning to clean my car out. We're going to the grocery store to work on math." Now, I do understand the grocery store math, what the vegetables are. There is a lot of learning there. And I understand. I think it's a good thing for your kids to help you take care of your stuff because you pay money for a car. So I don't see anything wrong with that, but that's not schooling. That's not schooling. That's not schooling your kids. That's called being a parent. Being a parent. You're supposed to do that with your kids. Hey, I need a little help cleaning the car out. Hey, why don't you clean your own car seat out? Here's some wipes. Vacuum it. Clean it out. Make it nice. Make it neat. That's something a fucking parent's supposed to do. A parent. A parent. So you should be teaching your kids that anyway. You should be teaching your kids that anyway. So if you're a parent and you're not teaching your kids to help you clean the car out and helping you grocery shop and helping you cook, what the fuck are you doing as a parent? Sorry. That strained me a little bit. Whew. I think I've probably already said more than I should. We've all been watching those videos of, what is it? We tell the truth and we don't judge. Oh my God, guys. Have you seen those videos? We tell the truth and we don't judge. I saw one today of four girls in a car, and they said that. And one of the girls in the back literally said, "My 3 kids are actually my uncles, and my baby daddy doesn't know." Oh, I hope she's lying. I hope she's lying. Incest, incest, incest. Holy fuck, what's this world coming to? Okay, so, yeah, I think we're going to end this one here, because I don't think I can say any more on unschooling. Except for if you're, just remember, if you're going to unschool your kids, fucking teach them to read and write, and arithmetic, too. Maybe they can be the whole package. But if they can't read and write, they're never going to be the whole package. I'm just telling you. So, yeah. So, I just wanted to, just between us, just thank everyone for the emails and the messages. My knee is doing much better. I did get to have an MRI for the nerve damage so we can see what's going on to see if I'm going to have a second knee done. But yeah, so it's going much better. I'm able to walk much better, and things are going great. So thanks for all of the emails and the messages, the DMs. It's been really, really, really humbling to know. So thank you so much. And I mailed out a few stickers last week, so let me know when you get those. And just remember, you can email at thankgodyournotmychild.podcast@yahoo.com. And remember, follow on all the socials. I think I'm on every one of them, even that X thing. So until next time, thank God you're not my child.